What is your will, my master?
Hey, what's up, Dan? Quick demo video for you for two sabers of yours. I've got first your KY sabers, or your KY lightsaber, sorry, Jedi Killer with dual crystal chamber. And then I've also got your Starfall sabers, Scrapflex, with the blue sig switch that lights up. We'll go over both of these, obviously, right? We'll go over the KY first, all right? It's installed, well, they're both installed with Proffie V2s. They both have CC Sabers in here for the lit PCB. As you requested, I did take the mesh off this bottom one so that the crystal that I put in is exposed, and that's a real quartz crystal. Two buttons set up, so your top switch up here, that's your activation, and then your bottom switch down here, right next to it is your auxiliary. How to get to everything is you just want to loosen this bolt. I did shave it down so that it wouldn't bite down into the chassis, but it locks into both the handle and the main blade. So just be aware that when you're taking it out, it's probably a lot shorter than what you're accustomed to. I chopped probably about half of that off, okay? But once you take that out, you can slide your handle right off just like that. And then here is your chassis. I just did kind of weather it with some rub and buff. I didn't want to go too perfect on the color with it because this chassis or this saber has some weathering here in the brass pieces that you can see. So try to match that over here, right? And that's what we've got. You got a removable battery setup, so spring side, 28 millimeter Smuggler's Outpost Elite speakers. You have that in both of these. And then your Proffie board right here. So on this particular one, since you're going to be doing your own stuff, I only have one sound font on here because there's three blade styles, right? You've got one for your main blade. You have a different blade style for this crystal, and then your third blade style for this. So they're all wired independently. I did one sound font, put the config on the SD card so you can build from that. And that's what I did, right? So the board's a press fit down into the shelf. When you go to get to your SD card, you just kind of want to pop it up like this. You don't need to take it all the way out of the chassis. Just pop it up diagonally. Get to your SD card, do what you need to do, and then snap it back down. It is designed to where you can get to your micro USB without lifting the board, but you do have to lift it to get to your SD card. So we'll throw a battery in this guy real quick. And I'll throw the handle on. And I'll just tighten this one bolt down. So once you've got that tightened up, everything's good to go. And so as you can see, I've got the top one, it's a heartbeat blue, and then the other one's just kind of pulsing on and off as white. And that will stay like that until you turn the blade on. And then they both go to blue to match your blade. This thing is incredibly loud. I mean they both are, but this it's just screaming loud. Auxiliary. Or you could hit activation. And hit it again to turn it off. Just like that. We'll throw a blade in. This guy takes a 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade. And then I am using kind of the longer one for blade retention. You've got two that you can use for blade retention. You can use this guy or this guy. I'm using the one that's in front of the crystal chamber. With flash on flash. Auxiliary, right? You hear how loud that is. Just like that. Now, since this only has the one font on it, I'm going to go ahead and we'll just take the blade out. I do that because if I know you guys are going to build your own stuff, I give you the one font so you can see what I did, and hopefully that's easier to copy and paste, and then you can build from that instead of having to decipher 8 different sound fonts and all the coding, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll take this bolt out of the handle, slide it right off, and then from the positive side of the battery, which is over here by the speaker, you should be able to pop it out with your finger just like that. And that is pretty much your KY Sabers Jedi Killer. I'm going to set this off to the side, and I'll put that back together off camera. Now I did a little something different with the Scrapflex because, as you know, on this guy, the only place this opens is the pommel. All right, so you just want to unscrew this. You've got CC Sabers in there too for your lit PCB. We'll take the pommel off. The chassis is a little bit tight, so once you take that pommel off and you see your speaker, you want to take your handle and cup your hand and just hit it like 2 or 3 times. Your chassis will pop out that far, and then you can pull it all the way out. I have to make them a little bit tight when I do these. This is probably the 4th one of these I've done, and they're all pretty consistent. There's a little something I need to get past there in the handle. So if I make the chassis a little bit tighter than I normally do, everything works out fine. All right. So once you pop that out, this is your chassis. It says Solo Sabers over here for me in Arabesh. I put a little something, some filigree or something over here, and then I matched it on this side too. You've got your 28mm speaker in there. It is recessed inside the chassis though, because on this guy, the pommel is what pushes this forward inside the Saber, and it makes connection with that 14-pin PCB in there. It's kind of hard to see it, but you'll see it in person. So because this pushes up against the back of the chassis, I had to keep this off the speaker. So we recessed that speaker down in there a little bit, if you can see how far down in there that is. And then here's your Proffie board. Now on this one, because it's big enough in diameter, I was able to design it in a way that you can get your SD card out without ever moving the board. Just take a pair of tweezers and pull that SD card out, and you can put it back in. Everything's good to go. It is still a press fit down into the chassis though. I prefer to do that and not glue them if I can get away with it, and 9 times out of 10 I can. So that's what we got going on here, and then there's just a small Smuggler's Outpost emblem inside there, and this is kind of rounded just for aesthetics. So as opposed to putting color on the Jedi Killer, if I make a removable chassis, I don't do any color because it's just going to rub up against the inside diameter of the Saber. So I just try to go with a nice finish on the chassis, nice and smooth, and everything works out good there. And of course, there's your removable battery, spring side. This is your Smuggler's Outpost switch pixel PCB set. So the other side is that 14-pin PCB that's in the Saber and never comes out. So we'll take a battery and we'll put it in this guy too. Now this one has the complete stock font package on it because there's no crystal chamber or anything. But there is a copy of the config file that I used to set this up because I put motion controls on it and stuff like that. But you can take this chassis, put it in the Saber however you want. Whoops. You can put it in the Saber however you want. So we'll just come over here and we'll shove it right in. Okay. Put it in there like that. Put the pommel on. The pommel's going to do all the work. You'll feel it on the last couple threads. It's tightening up. It's pushing that chassis up against those pins. Now you asked me for a blue illuminated switch. So that's what you've got. Now when you turn this on, you got your switch light up. LEDs in here firing up. This one also is extremely loud, right? Auxiliary is your dome switch. And we'll put a blade in this guy too. This also takes a 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade. We'll lock this down. See, your switch is nice and bright. Blade lock up. Or we could hit activation. Hit it again and turn it off.
Smooth gray.
Very solid. Good flash on clash. Just like that. Now we can do another one if you want.
Smooth fuzz.
Just like that. And we'll take the blade out of this guy too. And then go over taking the battery out, which is very easy to do. Again, we're going to take the pommel out. With the battery in the chassis, it's going to have a little bit more heft. So it'll come out a little bit easier for you. And then over time, as you use this guy, the chassis will wear down just a hair. Well, and it will come in and out more freely, right? Pop it a few times and you can pull it out just like that. And then again, the positive side is over here by the speaker and you should be able to pull it out with your finger just like that. And that is pretty much your Scrapflex. Let me know if you got any questions on these guys, and if not, I will package them both up and I will get them out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks.